Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to start by introducing myself. My name is Jonathan Hull, and I work as a network security specialist for a local IT solutions company named CompuLink. Some of you may be familiar with the company. We have a great deal of customers throughout your community. So today I'd like to talk to you about secure passwords and how to create one. I see we have a pretty mixed crowd today, and that's good. It's about half students and half staff. Let me ask everyone a question. Please respond with a show of hands. Who here has an online account or profile that requires a password? That's just what I thought. It's everyone. That's no surprise to me. It's impossible to set up an account today without one. What's most important, however, is how secure your password is. There are a number of ways to do this, and we'll go through all that information. My goal today is to leave you with the knowledge to protect your information through this secure password. We're going to do that by learning just what a secure password is, why you would need a secure password, and how to create a secure password. So let's jump right in. So what is a secure password? Well, how about we start at the beginning with just what a password is. A password is a series of letters and numbers that, when put in the right order, allow you access to whatever it is you're trying to get into. So now, what is a secure password? A secure password is one that has the highest resistance to guessing and brute force attacks. Now, I'm sure that we all know what guessing means, but a brute force attack is most likely a new term for the majority of the audience. This is typically done by a computer program, and it systematically checks every possible combination of letters and numbers until it figures out the password. Dependent upon the length and contents of the password can be a factor in how fast or how long it takes for the program to figure it out. What's most important to keep in mind is that it is possible to do. So next time you have to create a password, keep all of this in mind. But don't worry, there are several things that we can do to help prevent all this. And we'll go over all this a little later. I just think that it's one of those types of things where people say this will never happen to me. That's a great way to go through life, except when it does. It has the potential to have an extremely negative effect on your personal and your financial life, and it is something that can be completely avoided. I think we all know why passwords are needed. They're needed to keep people out of your stuff, right? And that's exactly what they do. We just talked about what they are and the fact that they can be figured out or guessed. But why don't you want this information out there? Well, what are the main types of sites that you have a password for? Your email account, your student account, your bank, iTunes, etc., etc. Well, some of you laughed when I said email and iTunes. You really don't see these types of accounts as something that needs to be secure, but they are. Each account you have holds your information, like your name, your address, your phone number, date of birth, all bits of information most of you use to fill out applications, right? For things like loans and cell phones and cars. Exactly. Can anyone see where I'm going with this? Possibly identity theft? Not a good thing. Back to your banking, wouldn't it be horrible to log in one day and find that your account balance is at zero and you didn't do it? I think it would for anyone. Can you see now the importance of making sure you have a complex password? I hope so. Okay, now that I have all of you frightened to ever use the internet again, I'm just kidding. Like I said earlier, it's just a good thing to know the risks associated with your information being online. What's even better is having the tools to protect it. So now I'm going to show you on the screen up here a typical login. Here we have the iCloud login. All it asks for is a username and password. Another example is a standard Windows login. So what would be a good secure password? Here are the top 5 tips to use when creating one. The longer the better, unpredictable, avoid dictionary words, avoid reusing passwords, and change frequently. Now, I'm not talking about a 300-character password. That would be crazy. Most sites currently need a minimum of 8 characters for your password, and that's a great suggestion. Also mix up your casing and use numbers. By making it unpredictable, I mean not easily guessed by someone who knows you, For example, if I made mine Jonathan Hull IT, that wouldn't really be easily guessed, right? Of course it would. Avoid dictionary words, so no bread, ship, to. Bread and ship would be considered your dictionary words and not complex at all. Try using a uniquely spelled name or location like Albuquerque or Tijuana. Avoid reusing passwords. This is a huge one. There are some sites or systems out there where users have to renew their passwords, say, every 30 days. People get in the habit of only changing one number or character. For example, if your password ends in 2, the next month it would be 3. This is not a good idea. Changing this password frequently keeps not only your brain active, trying to keep up with all of your passwords, but it also keeps any person or system trying to guess yours at bay. I think it's pretty safe to say that you all now have a wealth of knowledge about passwords, and that's a good thing. I'm also pretty sure that many of you may have thought that there was no need for this presentation or that it was silly, and I hope I proved you wrong. I do have packets of information for you with some of the information that I talked about and also some of the screenshots that appeared as I was speaking. My intention for this material is for you to use when setting up a password. You can use this as reference if you have any questions at all. Let me end this portion of the afternoon by saying thank you for your time and attention, and I'd now like to open the floor to any of you that may have questions.